Cressida Jones is a young, aspiring actress spending her vacation in Spain. Detective Callum happened to spend his vacation there too, in the room right next to Miss Jones. He was out on the beach, but when he returned, there were police in her room, filing a police report for a robbery. Detective Callum asks Miss Jones what happened.
I was reading my script and I was so immersed that I forgot about everything. Then the wall clock struck 5 and I realized that I needed to go have dinner. I looked around and saw someone grabbing my jewelry. I didn't see the face. They ran away. I want you to find them.
Detective Callum said that she made up the whole story. Why? Cressida mentioned that there was a clock striking 5, but there is no clock in her hotel room. She probably just wanted some drama for the news. When the summer started and the weather in the city got way too hot, Mr. Johnson decided to move to his country house. So he packed his stuff and went there for the whole summer. When he returned to the city at the end of September, he found that his house had been robbed. A big sum of money was stolen from under his mattress. Mr. Johnson said that he was the only person with the key and that he didn't appear at home a single time. The police refused to file the report. Why? Look, there are many houseplants in his city apartment. Mr. Johnson was gone for 3 months and no one was taking care of the plants, so they were supposed to dry out, but they're fine. A robber wouldn't care about watering the plants, so Mr. Johnson is lying about not coming there. 7 students were left at the logic exam, and the professor decided to play a game with them. If they win, all students pass the exam. If they lose, they all fail. The task goes like this. The students are placed in one line on the steps, facing forwards. Each student can see everyone ahead of them, but no one is behind and there is no way to cheat. Every person randomly gets a black or white hat. Afterwards, starting from the person in the back, everyone should make a guess about the color of their own hat. They're only allowed to say black or white. If they try to cheat with words or intonation, they fail the exam. If at least 6 out of the 7 students guess the color of their own hat right, they will all pass. The students have time to discuss their strategies. What should it be? The person who goes first can see everyone else's hat, so they have to give a hint to everyone else. So they have to agree on a signal. They can only say black or white, which they can agree to mean odd and even, referring to the number of black hats the last person sees in front of them. Let me show you how it plays out. The students agree that black means odd and white means even. They stand in line and everyone gets a hat. The first person doesn't see their own hat, but sees that there are 4 black ones in front of them. So the person says white. Their own hat happened to be black, so they got it wrong, but one mistake is allowed. But now everyone else has a hint. It's the second person's turn, and they can see 5 people wearing hats in front of them. But they can only see 3 black hats, which is an odd number now. Since the first person signaled that they saw an even number, the second person understands that their hat is black too. So the second person says black. Everyone else in line keeps in mind that there is now an odd number of black hats. The third person only sees 2 black hats, which is another even number. So they understand that their hat is black too, and says black. Everyone notes that there is now an even number of black hats left. The fourth person sees 2 hats, an even number, so they say white. The fifth person sees 2 hats too, and says white as well. The sixth person only sees 1, which is an odd number, and figures that their hat is black too, so they say black. The one last person knows that there's an odd number of black hats, which is 1, and this person is wearing this hat. So the last person figures out that their hat is black too. In summer, someone broke into the mansion of a rich lady and stole her expensive collection of jewelry. There were 3 main suspects, and police came to interrogate them. Mrs. Wood said,
"I've seen Mrs. Olson's beautiful collection, but we're friends. I would never steal anything."
Mrs. Stone said,
I spent the summer with my sons, and I was busy with them and the housework.
Mr. Clark said, I spent the last month on vacation in Norway and just returned home 15 minutes ago. Who lied? Mr. Clark most likely lied. He said that he'd just come back home, but look at his kitchen. There are fresh fruits on the table and a lot of food in the fridge. If he wasn't here for a month, they would have been all rotten by now. In a magical forest, there's a fairy, Aeloo. She always tells the truth, but on April Fool's Day, she always lies. One day you ask her, "When is April Fool's?" Aeloo says, "It's tomorrow." The next day, you ask her again, and she says, "It's tomorrow." Again. What were the days when you asked her? So one of the days, she definitely lied. One of the days was April Fool's. If you ask her the first time on April Fool's, then the next day she would have to tell the truth. So she told the truth on the first day and lied on the second day. So the first time you asked, it was March 31st, and the second time you asked, it was April 1st. Mr. Spencer and Mr. Tucker are business partners who own a company together. One weekend, they went on a camping trip in the woods. A week later, Mr. Tucker comes to the police and says that Mr. Spencer had taken him deep into the woods and left him there without any equipment or tools. Afterwards, Mr. Tucker had to spend a whole week in the woods trying to find a way out. As soon as he got out, he came to the police to report Mr. Spencer. Mr. Spencer was interrogated too and denied everything, saying that Mr. Tucker was framing him. The police didn't file the report. Why? Mr. Tucker is perfectly shaved for a person who just got out of the woods. He must have made up the story. Maeve woke up in a dark dungeon and couldn't remember what had happened, but she for sure needed to get out, so she looked around and saw one big metal door. The door required a password. 6 digits were already placed correctly: 8, 5, 4, 9, 1, 7. There were 0, 2, 3, and 6 left. Maeve has one try to make it right. What's the correct order? The password consists of all 10 digits, each one used once. Maeve only needs to figure out the order. They're placed in alphabetical order, so the order of the remaining ones should be 6, 3, 2, and 0. In a parallel universe, it's only allowed to have fun and eat candy. No one studies or does anything lame. Mrs. Relham returned home after a day and night out with her best friends and asked her daughters how their day had been. "I went clubbing with friends. Thanks for the dress. I wore it and loved it," said Hannah. "I went to the water park and had a sleepover," said Elle. "I was just gaming the whole time," said Ava. One of them lied. Who? It must be Hannah. Look, the dress she said she wore still has the price tag on.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.